This week in AI news, am I right? It's like every time I refresh my feed, there's something crazier.
It really is something. The AI world is moving at, well,
Warp speed.
yeah, warp speed. But that's what we're here for, right? To cut through all that and figure out what's actually going to change things.
Exactly. And speaking of changing things, OpenAI, the AI rock stars, they just dropped this thing called O1.
That's not just another chat bot.
No, not even close. Remember all that Project Strawberry hype? Turns out this was it.
Project Strawberry, huh? Well, they were keeping that one close to the chest.
Super secret. So what is O1 and why should we even care?
Okay, so you know how most AI is kind of like instant answers, right? But not always the right answer.
Right, like my friend who tries to answer trivia questions after 2 beers.
Exactly. This is different. OpenAI figured out how to make AI think more like us, like reason through stuff.
Okay, hold on. How do you even teach a computer to think like a person?
Well, they call it this chain of thought approach. It's basically like breaking a problem down into steps, just like we do. Instead of just going straight to the answer, it's figuring out the how and the why.
So less about speed, more about like how it gets there.
Exactly. And get this, it's destroying these problem-solving tests like record-breaking scores.
Okay, that's kind of scary.
It's amazing.
Imagine having that on tap, like, hey, O1, what should I have for dinner? Explain every factor.
Well, we might be a way off from that, but for research, for actually solving complex problems, this is huge.
Okay, so while we're talking real-world stuff,
Yeah.
how about something a little closer to home, like our phones? Apple just announced the iPhone 16, and AI is a big part of it.
Yeah, big part of it, eventually. Right now, it's a lot of coming soon.
Classic Apple.
Yeah.
But this visual intelligence thing, that's the AI part, right?
Yeah, they're saying you'll be able to just point your phone at anything and instantly know what it is, like identify a plant, a landmark, whatever.
No more frantic Googling. That's actually super useful.
Right, like how do I know if I'm actually buying sustainably sourced coffee? Boom, point your phone at it, get the details.
See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But okay, Google's been kind of quiet on the whole consumer AI thing, but I saw something about their robots.
Oh, yeah, their DeepMind team, they're all over this dexterity thing, like
Yeah.
how to make robots that can actually, use their robot fingers for something.
Robot fingers.
Hmm.
Sounds creepy, but go on.
No, but cool creepy. They showed off these systems, ALOHA and DemoStart, and these things can do stuff that, like, even for us, is kind of hard.
Okay, like what? Give me an example, because my brain is going to, like, robot surgeons now.
No, we're not there yet. But think, tying shoelaces, folding laundry, those little fiddly things that robots have always kind of sucked at, they're figuring it out.
Okay, so maybe not taking over the world, but they can pick up my dirty socks. I'm cool with that. How do they even get that to work? Robots are notoriously, well, not graceful.
Right. It's all about something called diffusion models, which, okay, bear with me.
I'm so ready to have my mind blown again.
Imagine you've got this canvas, right, covered in just random paint, and then slowly an AI starts blending it step by step until it's a perfect picture.
Okay, I kind of get that.
So diffusion models, they do the same thing, but with movement. Instead of a static picture, they're generating these super precise actions.
So it's like watching an artist sketch, but the artist is a robot, and the sketch is like real life.
Exactly. And it's not just about robots that can make you a perfect martini, although the applications for this are huge. Manufacturing, healthcare, you name it.
Okay, now we're talking. An AI that can sculpt or, like, play the piano. Sign me up. Although,
Yeah.
maybe not the robot making martinis now that I think about it.
Well, absolutely. Well, for now, it's still mostly research, but ALOHA and DemoStart, they're a pretty big deal.
It's a lot to process. Speaking of processing, we've got a ton more AI news to get through. Ready for a rapid-fire round?
Hit me with it.
All right, Google's Notebook LM just got even cooler. They added this audio overviews feature. Basically turns your notes into, like, a podcast discussion.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. It's pretty slick. Uses text-to-speech, but makes it conversational,
So instead of me, like, falling asleep rereading my notes for my history class.
Which, let's be honest, could put a robot to sleep.
True. So it's like having a study buddy who can make even the most boring stuff interesting.
Right. And it's personalized, which is like the whole point of AI, right? Making things work better for us.
Love it. Next up, Adobe Firefly, the AI art thing. They're taking it to video now.
Yeah, the video stuff's blowing my mind. You can basically create whole scenes from text prompts now, turn a still image into a movie, all kinds of crazy stuff.
It's like having a whole Hollywood SFX team at your fingertips, but, like, without the Hollywood budget.
Right. And this is what I love about all this. It's making this stuff accessible to everyone. You don't need to be a tech genius or have $1 million to make cool stuff anymore.
Speaking of making things accessible, last quick update. The White House is getting serious about AI. They're putting together a task force focused on building the digital infrastructure for all this.
Which is important. People don't get as excited about the infrastructure part, but it's like the foundation.
So less about the cool robots, more about making sure those robots have like a nice digital home to live in.
Yeah, and not just any home. They're really emphasizing like sustainability, responsible development, all that good stuff.
So they're building a high-tech, eco-friendly playground for AI to thrive in. I like it.
Yeah.
But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, we've got one more big thing to talk about, and it's about how AI is changing how we play games. Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember how we were talking about AI creating stuff?
Yeah.
Well, get ready to have your mind blown because we're talking about AI that can actually generate whole video game worlds.
This is Tencent's GameGen-O, and it's a big deal. We're not talking about like level design here. This is creating a whole world that actually reacts to what you, the player, are doing.
Wait, really? So every decision you make changes the game world itself?
That's the idea, yeah. Imagine playing a game where the landscape changes as you explore, or like the characters actually develop personalities based on how you interact with them. Even the rules of the game could change as you play.
Okay, that's next level.
Yeah.
It's like playing a game inside a dream you're controlling. Kind of.
It's pretty wild. People are freaking out about what this means for the future of gaming. I mean, talk about unique experiences, right? You could play the same game 1,000 times and it'd be different every time.
Makes you wonder if, like, are we even going to need human game designers anymore at some point?
Right. It's a good question. Tools like GameGen-O, they're going to change how games are made, that's for sure. But I think it's going to be about finding that balance, you know, between what AI can do and what humans can do.
It's crazy to think about how fast all of this is happening. This week alone, we've gone from AI learning how to think to changing how we use our phones, our robots, and now even how we play games.
It's a lot. The biggest thing to remember is, like, this isn't some sci-fi movie. This is happening now. So stay informed, ask questions, and think about how you want to use these tools.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We'll be back next week with even more AI news, but until then, go explore, stay curious, and we'll see you on the flip side.